Hi, I'm Will McTavish, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a pad or ambient sound from pretty much anything. This is a very fun and simple way to get a pad sound that is a little more outside the box from typical subtractive synthesis results. But more importantly, it's a really cool mental and creative exercise in regards to using fundamental tools to get the desired result. It's often very tempting to reach for a new VST or some kind of plugin that you don't already have as the answer to that kind of wall that you hit creatively with sound design. So this kind of thinking can really help your ability to squeeze as much power from your readily available tools and plugins as much as possible. So the techniques I'm using here can be applied to a huge variety of sounds with little more than basic effects and a sampler. And I mean, a sampler is kind of effectively a primitive tool in terms of sound design and electronic music sounds. So as always, I'm trying to keep things pretty platform and program agnostic. So you should be able to do this, no matter what your setup or your DAW or anything like that. The only third-party VSTs here are free, and I'll be posting a link to them in the description. So let's check it out.
Okay, so jumping right into it. I've got a MIDI track here with Syntar, this free VST of a sitar. I'll post a link in the description to where you can get a hold of this, but yeah, does a reasonable impersonation of a sitar. I played a D over 2 octaves and then bounced that out to audio. So another MIDI track with your sampler loaded up. So we're going to take that bounced out audio from the plucked sitar and there it is. So we're going to bring the volume up. And we need to set the looping points for where this is going to loop. This is kind of the core of the sound, is looping over the movement of that pluck. And it helps if it loops. And sometimes you need to mess with the crossfading on this, but that's already playing pretty nice. That'll do for our intents and purposes. Okay, other big thing with pads, reverb. Tons of it. You can take off most of this other crap that comes in. It's starting to get spacey. Play with our volume envelopes. Long attack and release. Typical pad stuff. Some low pass filtering. And playing with that cutoff frequency is where you're going to get more movement and texture and just kind of define how you want this pad to play out. And of course, how much of that upper harmonic content you want. Ping pong delay. Get some cool stereo action going on. Should work pretty well right out of the box. But the delay and the reverb go a long way to helping smooth out any of the kind of odd effects of looping the clip. I mean, that's primarily it. And then where this gets cool is when you start playing it over different places of the keyboard and playing it an octave down sounds really cool. So again, you do that sort of thing with the right filter movement and it can get pretty ominous. So again, just real quick example, fundamental idea. In the next part, we're going to do this with something weirder. Haven't decided what yet, but we'll see when we get there. So check out the next part.